Hello everyone and welcome to the Folson's Tube YouTube channel. Thank you if you're a returning viewer, and if this is your first time, you're also welcome. We hope that you would watch the videos and you would find them to be of benefit to you. And once you do that, you know what to do. Please leave us a comment under any of the videos if you have any questions. Subscribe to the channel as always, and like and share with anyone who you feel will be interested in the information that we are sharing on this channel. So today I'm going to be talking about express entry or immigration to Canada. There was one viewer who left a comment on the initial video that I did about immigrating to Canada as a skilled worker. If you haven't seen it, that video is going to be linked, somewhere up here. You can click on it to watch it. And he said this was recorded. He said this is 2022. Is there any update? And I responded and said that yes, I was going to do an update. Well, because technically speaking, not much has changed. Canada is still accepting immigrants. So in 2020, in 2021, a target was set to land about 401,000 immigrants into Canada. And guess what happened? Actually, 405,000 immigrants were landed. So which means that the targets that have been set are even being exceeded. And for 2022, the Canadian government has set a target for 432,000 immigrants to be landed in Canada. It will interest you to know that of those that were landed in 2021, most of them happen to be coming from the Provincial Nominee Program or the Canadian Experience Class, PNP or CEC class. So that means that most of the people that landed in 2021 as immigrants were people who were already inside of Canada. And we all know what has happened with the pandemic and how things were disrupted the world over in various countries over the world, and Canada was no exception. The unfortunate impact of this pandemic to Canada's immigration program is that there has now been a huge backlog of applications that are still pending. As of recording of this video, there are about 2 million applications that are still pending, and this cuts across like immigration, temporary residence, visitors visa, super visas, student permits, work permits. Like, there is just such a huge backlog, and this has actually gone up since about April, because I recorded an initial video and then there were some updates that came, and I said no, let me just record this again to give you the freshest and the most up-to-date information. So mostly because of what is happening in Ukraine, the Canadian government has put in a special immigration program, and that has added about 200,000 applications to the backlog. So we are still at 2 million applications that are still waiting to be finalized. Now, what is the impact of this, or how did we get here? Once again, as I said, mainly because of the pandemic and the closure of international borders and the reduction in capacity of processing staff of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, IRCC for short, which is the main government federal agency which handles immigration matters. Their workforce was stretched. People were working from home, and we know that when work from home hasn't really been part of your program, it took a lot of companies by surprise, and IRCC was not spared. And simple things such as workers not having access to a second screen with which to work significantly slowed down their ability to process applications quickly enough. So IRCC is doing their best. In fact, in this year's budget, they were given $85 million as a budget for them to operate for the year, and out of this money they are improving technological processes, they are digitizing some of their operations, getting some of their workers second screens, and then they are also hiring more staff. As of now, IRCC has hired about 500 additional staff, and I still see job adverts out there from IRCC hiring more people to work with them so that they can handle this huge backlog of applications that is currently being tackled. Now, the advantage or the good news is that the federal skilled, or let's say the express entry rounds of invitations. So the express entry is like a program that the Canadian government introduced to bring in skilled workers from outside. And Canada has been bringing in skilled workers from all over the world for over 50 years, and most of these have been economic based programs. And this express entry was introduced in 2015 to fast track how these skilled workers can be brought in. And there are three programs under this express entry stream. So we have the Federal Skilled Worker Program, which is like the most popular one and the one where most people come to Canada through in terms of the economic streams. We have the Federal Skilled Trades Program for tradespersons or journeymen, and then we have the Canadian Experience Class, which is people who have some work experience in Canada, and most of these people happen to have come to school in Canada, have obtained their postgraduate work permits, and have been working in Canada for some time. So these specific streams were all there and provided options for people to immigrate to Canada as skilled workers. So what happened was that every month or twice a month there would be a round of invitations where people who are in the express entry pool, they have created their profile, and everything, the details are in the video that I made reference to earlier on. So if you haven't watched the video, you can watch it here. So people in the pool, there were normally rounds of invitations that were issued, and a comprehensive ranking score would be selected as a cutoff point, and then people from any of these three streams who were above that cutoff would be invited to apply for permanent residence. Now the government put a hold to that in December 2020 in issuing invitations to anyone across these three streams to be invited for permanent residency. That was put to a halt in December 2020. And then from then on, the government was focusing on mostly the Canadian Experience Class and the Provincial Nominee Program, or the PNP for short. So in February of 2021, a massive draw was held for the CEC, where over 27,000 applications were, or 27,000 people were invited from the full pool, which is literally everyone who was in that program was invited. The cutoff point was score was 75, which is low enough for everyone to qualify for that. So those people were invited from the pool, and then the draws continued to go on until September 2021, where a halt was also put on the CEC. So since December 2020, no invitations across all the three programs. That means that no invitations to the Federal Skilled Worker, no invitations to the Federal Skilled Trades. It was only CEC, and now CEC also stopped from September 2021. So from September 2021, there have been no draws, to any of the candidates in the express entry streams, any of the three streams. And it has just been the Provincial Nominee Program that has been issuing invitations, about twice a month, because the government decided to shift their priorities to handle to focus the backlog of applications that was already in existence, and then also to focus on candidates that were in Canada. So most of these PNP nominations are people who are also in Canada and qualify, or they meet the eligibility requirements for any of the provincial immigration programs, and are being invited by the government to apply for permanent residence. Now the good thing is that the government is going to be resuming the invitations to the express entry in July, and that is the major update that even prompted me to re-record this video. The government is saying that they've been able to process some of the applications and cut down on the backlogs, especially in the economic immigration stream. So they hope to be able to resume those invitations from July of 2022. Yeah, so this is great news that the federal government is going to be resuming issuing invitations to those who are in the pool, in the express entry pool, across all the three categories, or across all the three streams in the express entry. But then again, what this introduces, or the downside to this, is that this is going to increase the level of competitiveness amongst candidates in the pool, in who is going to get an invitation to apply, because now that the federal government is looking at inviting 55,000 people under the express entry stream versus the 100,000 plus that it was doing so previously, it means that the pool, or the number of invitations to apply, is getting smaller. And what does this mean? This means that you need to be in the higher CRS score category in order to stand a chance at receiving an invitation to apply. Now, at the time of this recording, there are about, about 100,000 or so people within the pool, a bit, maybe over 100,000. I'm not sure about the exact number, don't quote me on that. But then looking at the CRS score breakdown, you realize that there are about 55,000 people in the pool who have their CRS scores ranging from between 451 all the way to 600 and above. And for the PNP nominations or the PNP invitations that I've sent out, the last one that was done recently at the time of recording of this video, the lowest ranked candidate had a score of above 750. So which means that your CRS scores need to be really above there if you want to be if you want to get a chance at being invited, because if the government decides to invite all the top 55,000 candidates in the pool, those people have their scores above 450. So you want to take a look at your scores right now and find out if your score is not above 450, then it means that your chances of getting an invitation to apply when the government resumes is should I say that it's 50-50. The government might decide to go above the 55,000 if it has capacity to process the applications, and you might just be fortunate enough if you fall within the lower CRS category to also receive an invitation to apply. But then it comes back to the point that whatever it is you can do to boost your chances of improving your CRS score, that is what you can do right now. It could be maybe improving your IELTS results, because IELTS is also a very critical component. I mean, at a certain level of IELTS results, a 0.5 difference in your scores can even make a difference of about 20 to 30 points, which is like a pretty decent and significant amount of points. So maybe you want to think about improving your IELTS scores, or maybe you want to beef up your educational profile and complement what you already have with some postgraduate education. Anything that you can do to improve your chances of being invited once the government resumes is a welcome step for you, so that your chances of getting that invitation to apply is going to be improved once things start rolling again from July, as we have been told by the Minister of Immigration. So this is just something that I just wanted to throw in there. And then also just to mention that according to the statistics, majority of those who are in the express entry pool fall under the Federal Skilled Worker Program. So I know there are a number of people out there who are under the Canadian Experience Class, the CEC. Most of you have come to school in Canada, you have graduated, and you are on a postgraduate work permit. So it means that there's even competition. Those who are in Canada under the Canadian Experience Class versus the skilled workers, federal skilled workers who are coming from all over the world. The statistics show that about 80 to 85% of those who are in the pool, express entry pool, fall under the Federal Skilled Worker Program. And then you have about 10 to 15% of those in the pool coming from the Canadian Experience Class, and then just for about 5% coming from the Federal Skilled Federal Skilled Trade Worker Program. So if you're in Canada, once again, you need to boost your scores, and I'm sure with most of those in Canada under the Canadian Experience Class having some kind of Canadian education, maybe like a master's or a PhD, that does also give you some decent amount of points. So yeah, you just have to hope and pray that once the draws resume, your points, once again, at least 450, the higher the better, so that you stand a chance of getting a spot among the 55,000 that the government plans to invite from the express entry stream from July onwards. So these are just some pointers that I wanted to bring to your notice as you consider how you can look at one of the options for immigrating to Canada through the express entry profile, and yeah, also how you can present a strong application so that once the invitations resume, you can be guaranteed that you are going to get an invitation to apply. So then what do you have to do? I think that it would be wise for anyone who is in the pool or looking to immigrate to Canada to look out for the provincial nominee program. The PNP program is going to be the leading program in terms of inviting immigrants to Canada for the next 1 to 2 years. Now, the advantage of the PNP is that once you apply for a provincial nomination, or once you are notified by the province that they are interested to notify you, I mean, that is another process on its own, and I might do a video just on how to apply through the PNP program. If you're interested, drop in the comments, let me know that you want me to do a video for that. But then what happens is that once you go through the PNP process and you get a nomination from a province, that gives you 600 additional points to your comprehensive ranking score. And if you are getting 600 additional points, that is going to shoot you to the top of to the top percentile of candidates in the pool who are likely to get an invitation to apply based on the CRS cutoffs. Now the PMP is a different ball game on its own. It has its own, you know, application process and nomination process that what I would recommend for you to do is to spend your time, or to spend some time to really research it and to really find out what the requirements are for each of the programs that the many provinces offer. And I mean, for the PMP, there are two processes. There's one PMP which is directly managed by the provinces, you know, from end to end, and then there is the other portion which is more or less streamlined or aligned with the express entry, which will require you to create an express entry profile, put in all your details there, and then when your nomination has been approved by the province, you are going to receive a certificate of nomination in your express entry profile, which you go in to accept, and that automatically adds on an additional 300 points to you. So yeah, you need to spend time with the PMP to be sure that you are meeting all the requirements, that you are setting up your applications right, you have all the information that is being requested by the provinces, you know, as they want it, and then you would be able to apply for that. And hopefully pray, if that you are not able to apply, pray that you get nominated out of the pool, just to give you a better chance at securing an invitation to apply for permanent residence, so that you can immigrate to Canada in the year 2022. So yep, a few changes happening here and there. Canada is still interested in immigrants, and if you look at your profile and you assess your options and you find out which one will be best for you, you will then pursue it with full steam ahead. But just to let you know that things are becoming more competitive with all the changes that are happening, and especially with the backlogs that has created, you know, a few challenges in the system. And yeah, there are ways that the government is trying to streamline that. I know that for people who are waiting, I mean, there are people who are currently on work permits that are expiring soon and are in the pool hoping to get invited to apply for permanent residence, and it can be some uncertainty. There can be some uncertainty and, you know, a little bit of worry about what your fate is going to be. But I'm sure that the government has a plan. They try to be as reasonable as possible. So if that means that they have to extend the work permits for another period of time, I think actually there's a program which is going to be started to handle those special cases of people who have work permits that are expiring and that need either an extension to the work permits or are hoping to be able to get a chance to be invited to apply for permanent residence out of the pool of candidates. So don't worry, IRCC's got you, the government of Canada has got you, and, you know, my heart goes out to you. I'm praying with you that any challenges that you are facing will be resolved, and that you'll be able to make progress in your application for permanent residence. So thank you very much once again for coming to watch this short video, which is like an update on where things are currently at with Canadian immigration. Now, this is just me giving you information. This is not immigration advice. This is not legal advice. So please, I plead with you to do your research, find out all the information that you need for yourself and that is unique to your situation and to your application. And please, if you need legal advice, make sure that you reach out to, you know, the proper channels, either an immigration lawyer or a registered immigration consultant, which I am not either of those, and see how best you can advance your application. So thank you very much once again for watching this video. Please like this video if it was helpful to you. Share it with anyone who you think would also benefit from this information. And please let me know in the comments if you have any questions. And please, last of all, subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button and keep on encouraging us to bring you more of these educative videos. So to come your way next time. Bye.